Now, 21 Savage has improved a lot. Can we talk about that for a second? This guy has really, really grown as a rapper, not only compared to his peers, but also in comparison to just where he was at when he first got in the game. So yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, 21 Savage, a rapper most people are very familiar with at this point. This is a guy who's been going very strong for about 4 years now in the industry. 21 Savage, of course, blew up back in 2016 with the Savage Mode tape produced by the one and only Metro Boomin. Before the success of this tape though, he did have a very noticeable buzz going in Atlanta, and that was because of his The Slaughter tape he dropped back in 2015. The song Red Ops that also came out in 2015 was also very huge. I'd say that song properly blew up when he started going global with Savage Mode in 2016. That same year though, he was on the XXO cover alongside guys like Kodak, Uzi, Denzel, Designer, Yachty, etc. This was most definitely a good look for him, and it perfectly transitioned into him dropping Savage Mode that next month and having his big break. That same year, he linked up with the boy Drake for Sneakin', a collab I initially didn't think would work well at all, but I remember bumping the hell out of it when that one dropped. Just another big dub for 21 when he was coming up, and 21 obviously set himself up real good to become a big name in the game. You don't have to like his music to recognize the fact that his entire energy was raw from the get-go. The cold, emotionless, and savage personality he was exuding definitely fit right in with the kind of music he was making. Initially, when 21 was first coming up, he was labeled as, you guessed it, a mumble rapper. I think back then when guys like Uzi, 21, Yachty, and Kodak, when all those guys were coming up, there was almost like a lack of contrast regarding what a mumble rapper actually is. It did start off as if you're mumbling, you're a mumble rapper, but I think we know nowadays that a lot of trap rappers wrongfully get labeled as that. 21 is definitely someone who I would personally say did get wrongfully categorized as one. He was coming up alongside a couple rappers who did mumble here and there from time to time, some more than other, and he was classified as one through affiliation. This is something he actually addressed on an interview with Rolling Stone in 2017. He felt like people were calling him that as a way to bring him down, which does make sense. A lot of those mumble rap comments mainly came from old heads who simply weren't accepting the new generation of rappers. Apart from that though, looking at where 21 started and where he's at today, we've seen a lot of growth happening on his side, and I think 21 Savage started off as a raw, organic, untamed street rapper who simply was willing to do more than just that. And he not only ended up reaching the top of the rap game in such a short amount of time, but he also saw some noticeable amount of success in the pop world, and that's obviously thanks to Rockstar by Post Malone featuring 21. That song, if you ask me, single-handedly put 21 in a completely different category compared to anyone in his lane, not only with the power of the song itself, but because he actually had the ability to keep up with that pace, which a lot of rappers wouldn't. He tapped into an avenue very early on most rappers are never gonna get close to, and for sure ran with that opportunity because his feature was fire. Recently, we of course saw 21 and Metro drop in Savage Mode 2. The overall reception on this project has been fairly positive. It did some crazy numbers, over 170,000 copies first week, even though I'd say that it wasn't as raw as the first Savage Mode. Just looking at 21's performance from a rapper perspective, I think the improvements he's made are very much present. Number one, he's absolutely refined his flow beyond levels I thought he could. He sounds way more confident as a rapper than ever. On top of that, I'd say he's also found his pocket in terms of his delivery style. 21 Savage in 2020 sounds a lot like what I thought he would sound in a couple years, meaning he's climbed a lot of different levels in such a short amount of time. Speaking from a technicality aspect as a rapper, I think some of his growth also goes hand in hand with how much he's actually grown mentally, not really related to the music itself, but just the way he carries himself nowadays. I pay a lot of attention to stuff like that because actions speak louder than words. The way these rappers are actually living reflects in the music. That's something that's hard to fake. It's just an energy you can feel though, and things like him talking about, I'm gonna stop wearing jewelry and invest my money into the right places. I'm talking about things like that. That's growth, man. On that note, I've actually seen some recent pictures where he is a little bit iced out, but hey, you can't expect the guy to never wear any jewelry. Come on now, you gotta be allowed to flex just a little bit. I mean, even I be rocking a little bit of jewelry from time to time, okay? Ain't nothing wrong with that. The point is mind over matter. But back to 21, I also really want to commend him on the way he handled that UK situation. You already know what I'm talking about. He handled that whole situation very eloquently, very maturely. He didn't fold under pressure like a lot of other rappers would.
Immigration authorities say he overstayed his visa, which expired 13 years ago.
I don't think the policy is broken. I feel like the way that they enforce the policy is broken.
Walk us through February 3rd, just a few hours before Super Bowl is about to take place here in Atlanta, and you get pulled over. What happened?
I don't even know. I was just driving and I just seen guns and blue lights. And then I was in the back of a car and I was gone.
They tell you you're under arrest?
Nah, they didn't say nothing. They just said, we got Savage.
They said, we got Savage.
Yeah.
Sounds like this was potentially something they set out to do. This would have been targeted and not just a random traffic stop.
It was definitely targeted.
I think 21's growth highlights the fact that it doesn't really matter how you start. The ending is the most important part. Obviously, he's still going to be prospering in the game, right? His time is far from over. But the point is, he didn't let his old ways, his past in the streets, stop him from actually evolving. 21 has gone beyond just being a rapper who's stuck in one particular lane, doesn't tweak and change his mentality towards being in the rap game. He's kind of the opposite of that. Just a lot of really good things have came out of him being willing to grow, not only in terms of being a rapper, but just character-wise on a personal level. He's been in the limelight for a couple years now, and I'm very confident we've yet to see how much more he's actually capable of growing. But yeah, 21 has improved a lot. I feel like you're probably gonna agree with me on this one if you've been paying attention to 21, that is. It's really dope seeing a rapper in this kind of lane bossing up and actually getting in his bag, not only money-wise, but from a character perspective as well. That's something I'd like to see more of, and this reminds me a little bit of Guap's transformation. This is a way more relatable case though, since 21 is younger and a lot of us have witnessed and seen his evolution from start to right now. But what do you think about this entire topic though? 21 Savage, do you think he's improved a lot? If he has, in what way? Any opinions on that? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.